What's up, my love? It's your girl Diamond, and I'm back with an all new episode of Ladies Who List Atlanta. Let's get into it. So we're starting off where we left off, which is Kira and Robin having their sit down. Throughout this conversation, I believe that Robin was the only one who saw what her faults were, and Kira wanted Robin to kiss her ass. Because that's exactly how it looked for me. Robin talked about how she didn't know how detrimental it was by an unfollow for the younger generation. She didn't know. She apologized for it. She asked for forgiveness. All Kira said was, I mean, it's all right. It's cool. I understand how it goes. You know what I'm saying? I'm a God-fearing person. I have no ill will towards you. And I feel like Robin was opening the door or trying to spoon-fed Kira the process of, I give you an apology, you give me one. Because in this situation, an apology was owed, especially for Robin, because she was owed one, because you jumped on the bandwagon of having an issue with Robin because Kiana had one. And since Kiana didn't get her satisfaction at that time about how the situation about, you know, the 26 files not being covered, you want to hop in and talk about it and unfollow on Instagram. And she was just like, I mean, no, I mean, I tried. I thought I was gonna get the same courtesy like Crystal gave me, and it wasn't the right response about when you gave it to me, and it was just a lot of back and forth to me. And I really do feel like Kira went all the way around, up and down the coast to avoid taking accountability. And I think that Kira might have saw the last episode and saw how she came off and now wanted to clean it up. But the way she wants to clean it up is to keep on talking and talking in riddles, talking in code, not saying, you know what, girl, I was tripping. I'm not mad about an unfollow. I just felt like you were giving me so much words of encouragement, so much hearts. I thought that you would have, you know, liked me enough to follow me, and I took too much of that, and I'm sorry. No, she didn't do that. And Robin said my tone was fucked up, but that wasn't on me. Yours was too, because you talking about how don't come to me as a fan and be an op and invite me out to dinner because I'll shit on you. That's when you got treated like a child. I'll buy you some diapers so you can shit on me. Then you want to say if I wouldn't hit you, I would, but you would have a stroke. You talking about her age. And she did not apologize for bringing up her age. And she said she backpedaled about, I did not talk about your age first. But that's when she looked at Kiana for validation. Kiana gonna leave her out to dry because she doesn't want to. Kiana wants Robin to be in that same space of, this is your fault, you need to fix it. It's like how you need to fix it with me. Even though my situation was my fault and I don't want to be right, I mean, I don't want to be wrong and admitting that I fucked up and not taking accountability, but I want you to own up your entire part of what happened last night, because what happened last night was because of you. And it's just kind of like, really, Kiana? You couldn't do her a solid, because she kept on saying how she wasn't saying, she didn't call her old bitch first. Did she not call me an old bitch? That wasn't her first word. No, it wasn't. It doesn't matter. She still used a jab to talk about Robin's age. That's the main point. Did she not call me old? Yes, because it flashes back to Kiera saying, I'm saying as the younger one. No, that's not what you said. As the new one coming into the mix, older ages tend to get a little bit jealous about the young one. And that's when Robin said, old where? Ain't nothing wrong with this. Old where? Old where? Okay? Ain't nothing wrong. Ain't nothing old about me. No way. Okay? And to me, it was just a lot of going back and forth. And I just wish that maybe Robin shouldn't have said sorry in the beginning, because she wanted to keep Kira on. She wanted to keep Kira in check at the same point in time, because you came at me with that energy of wanting to shit on me, and since I was matching your energy, you were talking about experience. But that's what Robin was trying to tell you when you wanted to shit on her about how long you've been in the game. She said, I've been in the game for since 2012, 17 years. How many transactions have you had? She told you her numbers, and you wanted to say how long, when. You want to stun Robin about where has she been doing in the real estate world. But when you said you graduated in 2012, I don't know what leg you think you need to stand on with saying that when she's been in the game longer than you've been out of school. That made no sense to me. And Kira's 28, but she acted 8 years old in that scene. And I just felt like this is not the first time that Kira has stunned on Robin, because she talked bad about Robin only selling in downtown Atlanta. And Tiana checked her was saying that's not where she only sells. Don't do that. And I'm not gonna drag this out because at the end of the day, Robin was the only one who wanted accountability for her actions, and Kira wasn't. Kira wanted Robin to kiss her ass as if Kira was wronged in that moment, but she wasn't wronged. She wasn't, and she doesn't want to do that. And how Robin the only one that took offense to the age comment because it was directed at her, and she's the oldest one there. So of course she will feel some type of way when you're talking about my age. Moving on, so they move on. They're cordial. They're not gonna be friends, but they're gonna be cordial. Tiana, she's showing a home to a client, but he wants. Oh, I'm talking. Sorry. Yeah, a former client. He's a former linebacker, a friend of her husband's. Is her client's? It's the owner's home, who's also her friend. She's a black female architect and an interior designer. It's priced at $2.7 million, and it's 5,100 square foot. It's really nice. I love the doors. I love the open space. Um, the majority of what he wants is a big master bedroom, and obviously he wants it to be a bachelor pad. So he wants to take some time to look over it and give her a call back. Crystal, she's meeting with Kira. They're having a personal conversation about relationships, and Crystal is almost thinking about considering entering a polyamorous situation. She reconnected with a guy that she knew from middle school, that reconnected in college, reconnected in law school, and has reconnected now. And she is considered being a part of that life because he also has a girlfriend who is married, and he's met the husband. So she wants to ask Kira, would she go to a poly party? That's not Kira's thing, but she is happy for anybody else who's a part of that lifestyle. Crystal, she likes him enough to try to go to a poly party, but I don't know about entering the lifestyle because Crystal doesn't know the full extent of the poly lifestyle. It's not about having sex with a lot of people. It's about being sexually fluid. That's not what it was. Just seeing, because being a polyamorous situation doesn't always mean sex. It means having intimacy with another person that you might not be able to get with the partner you chose, or you don't see yourself in a monogamous situation and you don't want to have a committed title, like open marriage, open relationships. And I feel like, okay, well, be careful. There are men who think about that type of lifestyle just so that way they can give them a sense of freedom to go out and be with other women and not look as if they're cheating behind your back when they're telling you who this person is. There's rules, there's boundaries put in place, and there's a lot more to come with that. So she will consider it, she'll consider it. Because pretty much, I believe the comfortability of your husband being okay with you having a boyfriend, something like that. At the end of the day, yeah, that's what it was. Kiana, she has a quick scene with her company about celebrating her 1 year anniversary of her real estate company. Was it Watson Woodser and Company? And they sold over $50 million in real estate. She got her license in 2007, and she was managing apartments before she became a real estate agent full time. And she's just so happy that her business is being a success. She's having the party in the Waldorf Astoria, and it's dressed to impress, down to the nines. Don't come in as a business meeting. This is not a business. This is not a business attire party. This is a fabulous. This is a fabulous event that I want everybody to dress to impress. Crystal again. Her dad's in town. She's excited about having him over. They talk about him remodeling his home in Atlanta. He has a lot of properties, and one of the properties that he wants to remodel for rental, he wants to make it a split level so he can have 2 tenants, and he wants to charge $3,000 a month. And she wants to know, what about the mortgage? The mortgage is paid off. All of his other properties are paid off. So she wants to get his advice on how to handle Robin at the upcoming event, which is Kiana's event. So she tells the story about what happened at dinner. And again, she's painting it off as if Robin was the one that was entirely going crazy, lost control. It's her fault. And I've let her be upset. She hasn't spoken to me. And it can't happen again. I want us to figure out the relationship. But she does not get a second chance to put her hands on me. Now, I completely understand that Robin putting her hands on Crystal is absolutely wrong. But I'm not going to overlook how Robin got to that space because of Crystal. Crystal put her hand and her mouth and her foot in everybody else's situation to make sure it stayed on Robin. And she did not stop and prevent it from getting bigger than what it was. She escalated it. She antagonized it. She kept poking the bear. So the fact that she's telling the story again falsely to another person who only is supposed to see her side, is not seeing the entire aspect of it, is mind-boggling to me. It's really much because she talked about Robin needs to work on her shortcomings and her triggers and figure out how to work through that, and don't blame everybody about what happened to you as a child. That's not what Robin did. Robin reacted to having not one, not two, but three people come at her when she never had the chance to speak. And you're getting upset that another person is seeing it differently than you wanted everybody else to see. With Tiffany, you got in your feelings that Tiffany saw for what it was. I didn't see a friend defending a friend. I saw a friend letting her other friend get burned, and she sat there and laughed. When someone doesn't agree with how you do things, you get upset, you get offended, you get petty. And I just feel like, what point of this friendship needs to be salvaged? Because I'm not finding one good thing about this. And I'm also finding it really irritable how Crystal is expecting for Robin to come follow behind her and apologize for hitting her, and that needs to be the end of the... No. Does Robin need to apologize to Crystal putting her hands on her? Absolutely. But at the same point in time, 2 apologies needs to be given. Crystal needs to apologize to Robin about how she did not handle being a friend to her good at that moment. You did not act like a friend to Robin in that moment, at the park, at the office, and at dinner, and at any other interaction you've had with Kiana and Kira when you're talking about Robin. You did not know how to be a friend to Robin. I don't think you know how to be friends to anybody if it's not for a superficial gain for you. And of course, her dad said you did all that you could, and it's an eggshell situation. So just be hopeful, but don't have any expectations about how things need to go. So we get to Kiana. She's at the fertility office, wanting to know what is her process about starting the IVF journey. They were doing the IVF last September with another doctor for a whole year, but when she went in for an ultrasound, they asked who's her sperm donor. She said her husband. They were under the assumption that her husband's sperm was frozen, but it wasn't. So all that time, they were trying to figure out why she wasn't getting pregnant. It was because they never had any samples of her husband's sperm. So they refunded them their money, and they started with a new doctor. And she doesn't have any kids. She was pregnant at one point, but she didn't follow through with the pregnancy. He has a daughter from a previous relationship. And she had a timeline when she wanted to have kids. She wanted to launch her business and then start the family process. I think when she said she launched her business, and then a week after started the in vitro. Something happened. It didn't take. She took 2 days to cry, get all of the grievance out, and then buried it and got back to work. So she wanted to at least have a child before she turned 40, and it's not happening. And everybody around her is telling her she's winning, but she feels like she's losing. And she has a clean bill of health, no fibroids, her periods are normal. And the doctor tells her the best time to have a kid is before you turn 28, but when you are over the age of 35, it can be a little difficult. And the possibility of having a normal pregnancy can be low or high, one of those. And we also have to look into the timing of everything. The timing of every month where you have that period of your ovulation window is a time for you to have a baby, time for you to get pregnant. And we're not just looking at the women who have the infertility issues. It could be the men. The men could also have an infertility issue that needs to be, tested and analyzed. And then we can start from there. And they have thought about other possibilities, using a donor egg, donor sperm. And at first that wasn't what they wanted to do in the beginning, but they're willing to try any other avenues of them wanting to bring one child into this world. And Kiana's not want to leave this earth without being able to raise her child. And I definitely understand where she's coming from. And we have been proven how there is no proper way, there is no perfect age to have kids. It's just all about when you're ready. And at the end of the day, that's all that needs to be understood. Whenever you're ready to have a child is when it's going to happen. There's no rule book. There's no... You could be prepared for all the way in the world, but when the baby gets here, you still feel like, what else have I not thought of? I don't have everything in order, and that's totally fine. It's totally normal because the baby is still going to be loved no matter if you're not prepared in the way you want it to be. And I'm mad that Kiana quit the show because this was a relatable, likable moment for us to see inside her personal life. And this was to be, appreciated. But hey, that was her decision. So Tiana, she's on FaceTime with her client, and he's gone over about what to do about the house, the pricing of it. And even though it's priced at 2.7, he believes the value of the home is 1.9. Now, I don't know if he was trying to say it in a way where I can't afford it. So I can't afford it. I'm going to try to not devalue the price of the home, but I'm going to try to devalue the price of the home because it's out of my price range. And of course, that was a pretty much an insult to the house because the home is worth 2.7. Excuse me, and you want to offer me a $800,000 less offer? No, not going to do that. And she's going to look around for more homes that she might have designed that's in his price range, and we'll get back to him, have another look. Because it's already hard for the property because the property has been on the market for over 30 days. And sometimes you have to look at the factors of why it's been on the market for more than 30 days. Is it when they put it in season? Is it the prices? So they have to figure out a way to still get the buyers to be interested and not look at the obvious and look at there's something wrong with the property, but there's nothing wrong with it. So she calls the owner on FaceTime and she tells her about the offer. She laughed because that was like a no. And she wants to know, will you be able to go down a reduced price for the home? She said $100,000. Now Tiana is not really gung-ho about that much of a reduction because it could read to the other buyers that there's something wrong with the property. That's why they went down $100,000. So we'll just start out with $50,000 because it's been on the market for over 40 days. They want to know, did you put in the right timing of the season? Did you put in the right time of the seller's market? That's all how it's looking into because the market is constantly shifting and changing. So, of course, she's going to be on the lookout for more properties for him and the designs that he wants because the home he wants is a bachelor pad, but in his price range. Robin is meeting with her client, and it's been a minute that she's seen Crystal, but she is all about business right now. And this is a client that had a condo for sale from another brokerage, but it's been on the market for too long, and they priced it too high. Obviously, she knows this client. It's been 3 years since she's seen him. His name is Tim. She was super excited when she opened that door. And it was a nice hug. It was a nice, oh my God, it's so amazing. I can't wait to get you in here. I'm like, Robin, you better do it, Robin. I'm just saying. But the penthouse is gorgeous. Beautiful. It was priced $1.3 million. It was a 3-bed, 3-bath penthouse, 2,700 square foot. And he bought it as a foreclosure in 2016 for $380,000, and it has been renovated for 10 plus years. But of course, she tells him it's priced too high. Nobody's gonna want to buy a condo or penthouse for $1.3 million. No, and it has to appeal to a different clientele because the home was definitely a bat cave, a man bat cave, and have to appeal to a certain clientele. So she wanted to bring it down to $900,000. And he was gung-ho about it. He was excited because he knows how good she is and she can definitely sell this home. I loved it. And I love the patio, the swivel stairs, the bedrooms was nice. It was a really nice penthouse, I'm not gonna lie. And that's where it ended with that. I love the fact that every time we get to a scene with Robin, she's explaining how differences of apartments and condos fly off the shelf, but they don't sell in the way that you want them to. Another brokerage can be losing out on a really good deal if they overpriced a condo or overpriced a piece of property, because that don't look like a settling home. No, that's an apartment for the summer. That's an apartment for a man who wants to have something for the time being. Yeah, I love that. So this is the night of Kiana's anniversary party, and it's at the Waldorf Astoria. They 5-star everything. I think she had a I can't remember the name of the planner, but it's a very well known planner for parties, and all the ladies come together. They look really fabulous. They give her their kudos on you doing an amazing job. Your real estate firm is thriving. Your top producers are excelling. Good job. So everybody's coming in with a peaceful energy, and they just want to let them know, has Crystal and Robin spoken? She doesn't know if they have, but y'all better keep it clean, keep it neat. Ain't no drama happening at my event. There will be no drama. I'm letting you know that right now. No drama, all right? So Robin comes in, give her support, and she said, are you going to be on some drama tonight? No, I'm wearing my good heels. I got all my expensive heels on. Because she's giving her support. Congratulations. And Kiana hasn't made it clear, not once, not twice, but all through the remainder of this night. No drama. Let's keep Robin and Crystal separate. Keep them separate. But Robin wants to speak to her. She has no issues. I'm not confrontational. I'm just gonna speak to her, right? Crystal knows she sees Robin, walks past her, talks to Kiana, gives her congratulations, and I think it was Kira and Tiffany telling Robin that Crystal is behind her. She's behind me? Yeah. Oh, I'm so scared. But then, of course, they turn around and give that, hi, that fake smile, that fake, I haven't seen in a long time hug. And let's have a conversation. Crystal opened up the door to have a conversation. This is when Kiana said, first of all, leave your drama at the door. This is the Waldorf Astoria. It took a lot of money to get this situation together. It took a lot of money to get this to be a success. I do not want y'all to have any issues at my event. Please take our conversation another day. Now, I found it funny that Kiana wants this event to be no drama, but yet she was willing to be a participant of getting Robin and Kira to have a sit down at Tiffany's event. She had no problem turning up at an event that Robin hosted, but she wants us to be on the complete straight and narrow, no roughhousing, no ghetto-ness at her event. Okay. Like I said, I just found it a little interesting. Now, I understand that there is a time and a place, but I felt like Robin and Crystal were not budging to call the other person. So an event where they all came together was going to be the only opportunity that they had for them to meet up. Sorry. So Crystal and Robin sit down, and Crystal can tell that Robin is not being enthusiastic about this sit down, but she said, you could have came to me 21 days ago. This is Crystal. Oh my God, you keeping count how many times I have not been calling you. It's been 21 days and you haven't said nothing? Not even when Robin texts you the night after how we need to have a conversation about what happened last night, you put her on red? Okay, Crystal. Yeah, you definitely wanted Robin to come and kiss your ass and apologize for that event, and then we're going to move on from that without you, taking any accountability for what happened that night. I see you. So Crystal said, how could I when you fucking blocked me? Robin said, I didn't block your phone number. And of course, that definitely stunned Crystal, because Crystal has not been calling her, has not been texting her. Now, I know conversation works both ways, but I feel like the way that Crystal has ran her mouth to speak about everything, to speak to everybody else about the situation besides to Robin, I feel like, Crystal, if you are losing sleep about what happened that night, why aren't you taking the initiative to go talk to Robin? Robin is still feeling what happened last night, but it didn't stop Robin from doing what she needed to do, which is her business. She did not speak to anybody else about the situation. She kept doing what she needed to do. You, however, wanted an audience every time to speak about how you felt about the situation. So when she said, I didn't block your phone number, meaning you had ample opportunity to come talk to me. And this is when Crystal said, so you want me to run after you like you give me penis? And that's where it ended. And I'm like, why did Crystal make that correlation? You want me to run after you like you give me penis. So if something went wrong with you and your man, you're expecting to follow up behind him with an apology and explanation because he gives you dick? I don't know. I feel a way about her using that correlation. That didn't. I'm like, okay, Crystal. But I don't know what else to say to that. I have no idea how to decipher her saying, you want me to run after you like you give me penis. Your mind must have been about dick that day, because you talking about entering the poly life. So you must have been in your mind about entering a situation that you might not be fully comfortable with just to get some dick. I might be pushing, I might be reaching, but that's what it's giving me. It's giving me that the way you operate when it comes to men, you take in things that are not really comfortable, but in order for you to get some dick, you're gonna say yes to. I'm gonna wait until the next episode for me to really dig deep with that, but that's where my mind is going with. But that's it, you guys. That's all I have. Please stay tuned for my next video, and I'm gonna see you guys later. Bye.